the majority of your thoughts into one. That's what they're there for.
Not really, like social, economic, and military point of views are completely unrelated. I don't see why people try to associate them.
They are, but then you say something bad against liberals, so like that's.
Alright, well, generally most of the things that liberals believe in are stupid.
And I can say most of the things that right-wing believe in is stupid. Letting big business trump over fucking individual people, I think, is wrong.
Really? You think liberals stand for individualism?
No, I never said that. What I was saying by that was that big business is allowed to trump over individuals, so they are allowed to do whatever they want to individuals. They are in this country. It's called capitalism. Capitalizing over something is capitalism. That's something
so you're against capitalism?
Huh? No. I like a mixture between a free trade and a fair trade. That's socialism. Call me a socialist. Whatever.
I mean, don't you think that the more competent members of society should be in control of most of the assets?
Oh, by all means, but they shouldn't be able to control them as much as they do. Our rich are getting richer and our poor are getting poorer. That statement right there shows that something's screwed up, in my opinion.
Well, I mean, personally, I don't see anything wrong with that, but
I do.
In the history of world civilizations, countries where that has been happening has like gone into decline.
What?
Where
one
there's a huge
entity
gap
is
between the rich and the poor.
Which is happening in this country right now, dude. So much, dude.
Even though morally there's nothing wrong with that.
I don't think there is necessarily morally, but I don't think that it's something that will create any good from it. It's something that usually would take away more than contribute. When you let my parents legally got $20,000 stolen away from them by from a big bank that had no fucking regulations and were allowed to do whatever they want. That's why this country's in what it is today, because of deregulation. That's why
if it's legally, how would you say that it was stolen?
Okay, then it was a good point, but take my words lightly like that. I don't know. It was taken away from them in a dishonest manner. I'm saying, that's okay. It was taken away from them, in my opinion, in a dishonest manner.
It was written describe how so?
Huh? Well, when my parents refinanced our house, I'm not aware of the certain guidelines of which it was in, but it was within the contract of the realtor who worked for a big bank that refinanced our house.
So you... Wait, what are you trying to say? Your parents couldn't pay their mortgage payments?
No. Do you know what refinancing is? So you can pay it off faster.
So what would that have to do with them taking...
Within a contract, within terms and conditions, okay? Have you ever read a terms and conditions?
Nope.
Exactly my point. Exactly the problem. Is that people are allowed to write, that's a contract. You're signing a contract, no matter it be an electronic signature or your hand on a piece of paper. You're still signing a contract. Holy fuck, that was fast.
So your parents got screwed over because they didn't read a contract?
Pretty much. I would try to look at everything from a political science point of view, with no values or social issues that would sway me one way or the other.
Why would you not look at it with values?
Because I believe that a lot of the values people hold in this country are outdated.
What? How could you make... How could you have an opinion on politics without having your own personal values affect them?
from a political science point of view. My grandfather was a political science professor, head of political science and political or world economy at the University of Oregon for 20 years. So, looking at it from a completely unbiased, completely 100% unbiased point of view is what I'm saying.
How would you have a stance on like abortion if you are not using your own values?
From facts, and I don't know.
That's like completely based on opinion.
Some of it.
Well, no, most social issues are...
That's what I'm... Did you hear what I said, though, when I said that? Is that I try to look at things that don't, like, have social issues within them, is what I was trying to mean. Things that were social issues... I don't know how to explain what I was trying to say.
So you just don't have an opinion on those?
No, I do to some point, but I was talking about things that don't. When things that don't, I look at them, who else? They're filthy. When things that... fuck, man. So hard for me to multitask at the same time.
So, do you have a stance on an issue? Let's just pick a random one.
My
Affirmative
biggest
action,
issue,
for example.
my biggest 100% issue in this country is the decriminalization of marijuana. That is by far my biggest issue.
Wait a minute.
Huh?
I'm guessing you support it.
What do you think? Yes, I support it extremely.
So if
like
you're trying
extremely,
to think about that issue from an unbiased manner,
I think that the reasons why
you're
it generates.
think of
We're
something
going
from
to.
an unbiased manner, then you're trying to think of what would be the best for the country as a whole without bringing in your own morals. That's the way I'm interpreting it. Correct?
Okay, but here, just listen to this. Do you want to know? Okay, can anybody here tell me why marijuana? Where originally? Do you know why? Because of somebody named Harry Anslinger. Harry Anslinger was a man that was, I think he grew up in Louisiana. He really hated Mexicans, right? So they used it. He was the founder of the DEA, the Drug Enforcement Agency. He was the founder of that. He didn't like Mexicans. It was used as a immigration stuff. That's where it originally really caught its treader, if you will. So when you look at it like that, when there's been no scientific, because I don't know, has anybody here ever seen Reefer Madness?
Well,
okay. They would say that it made you crazy and made you want to kill people. If you've ever smoked marijuana, you know that's fucking not true. So based on purely that, you go from something that's taking $19 billion away from our fucking federal budget to fucking millions, hundreds and hundreds, even close, probably billions of dollars of revenue. Tax revenue. We spend $19 billion on the war on drugs. Okay, $19 billion.
That is so absurd. You think that legalizing marijuana would somehow make our country... Yeah, okay, it would generate more revenue, but it's definitely not going to make us any more productive.
It's not going to make us any less productive. It's not going to make... There's been so many studies that have shown that legalization does not lead to higher usage. It's been shown in New York because in New York you can go, if you're a junkie in New York City, you can go get clean needles. There hasn't been any fucking...
What? How could you possibly do a study on the legalization of marijuana when it's not legal?
Because it is legal in many countries in this planet. Spain, basically decriminalized. Amsterdam.
That place turned well.
Amsterdam's really not doing too bad, not as bad as a lot of people think, but if you've read what mass media has had to say about it, then it's probably wrong, but I don't know, if you read any mass media, then you're kind of a joke.
Okay, so you...
No, okay.
well, I mean...
You're going from okay.
Okay,
I mean, just like if
considering
you want
that
to
you
base
have
it on
never...
that
Have you
fact.
been to Amsterdam?
Huh? No.
Have you been to Amsterdam?
Have you?
Now how could you claim whatever sources you've heard that from as more credible
than mass
the
media?
popular
Because
opinion?
fucking people like fucking Rupert Murdoch control media, and Rupert Murdoch's an awful fucking person.
So you just automatically do not believe anything you hear on the news?
From Fox News, 99%. Well, depends. From anything that Glenn Beck, Bill
Okay, come on, you
O'Reilly,
can't just
Sean
pull
Hannity.
these statistics out of your ass.
Minutes remaining.
Nah, I really. I don't really understand. Like, I've done part of normal. I've done a lot.
Okay,
of
obviously,
research
you're doing
on
most of your
legalization.
research based on whatever pre-existing biases you already have. So it's pretty easy for you to just ignore.
What? Not by any means. We're going from something that's cost. Okay, do you want to know how many non-violent offenders are in prison? 50%. Do you know how much money that costs the United States? Do you know that in prison, the average prisoner gets a better... I can find every source for you. Huh?
I mean, you don't really...
From various places
why
on
do
the
you have to
internet, from
necessarily
normal...
commit a violent crime to be in prison?
You don't have to by any means. That's why there's something called civil cases.
Okay, so...
How many non-violent drug
I don't understand
crimes?
what's so
Non-violent,
alarming about that statistic.
non-violent, petty drug crimes.
Okay, that just sounds like the most BS fact I've ever heard. You're telling me 50%... You're basically telling me 50% of people in prison should be released.
No, I never even said that. You're skewing my words and fucking taking them.
Okay, well then what are you saying that for? Why are you citing that statistic? What point are you trying to make?
Oh, my lord.
What point are you trying to make by
even
stating
try to
that?
say anything. It's pointless to try to even say anything.
Okay,
It's
fine,
just,
fine,
I'll say
fine.
one
I
thing,
won't
it's just,
make the conclusion you were trying to make. I mean, if you're going to cite a statistic, obviously you're trying to make a point, right? So what is the point you're trying to make?
That the illegality, if you will, of marijuana in this country is costing us way more than it should be, and it's something that could be generating us revenue and helping a lot of
obviously,
people.
not all 50% of that prison
No,
population.
I never.
is
Sorry if the fact I said was a little skewed. That goes to much more than just marijuana, though. And I just think that it's such an issue, and I really get upset.
I was having fun.
Well, you can't just look at the... Okay, fine. In the short term, yeah, we'll generate more revenue.
Then what's wrong with it? What's wrong with it then? Why don't you want it legalized?
I think as a whole, yeah, I don't see.
Because do you know what hemp can do? Do you know what hemp can? No, then you've never smoked weed, man. You've never. It's been shown to reverse cancer. It's been.
But it's just basically the people who
You're
smoke
being
weed versus
extremely
the people who don't
hypocritical right
smoke.
now. You're first, like 20 minutes ago, you said you like to make your political opinions without your own bias or like values or whatever. Clearly, you're doing that on this issue, which is apparently the most important one to you.
But there's so many things that aren't biased if you look at what I've said.
You're citing
I
your own
understand.
personal experiences from doing marijuana
I just said
into your decision.
no. Listen to what I just said. Marijuana, THC, has been shown to reverse cancer, like make cancer cells go away. How is that from how?
Okay, fine. Well,
No,
I mean, the medical
marijuana-
uses of
okay,
the medical
if you
uses of
eat-
marijuana
let
would
me
be
say
a
something.
completely different issue.
Let me say something. Marijuana, when ingested, just let me say something, because I'm sure that a lot of people here will think differently, and you might not know this. When it's vaporized or eaten, there is no negative connotations, long-term negative connotations to it whatsoever.
I think that's what, yeah, we know that.
Whatsoever.
It's not the same discussion at all.
It should be. I'm saying it as a whole. I don't know. You guys just keep teaming up on me. It's all good. I like a good debate, though.